Hello and welcome back to our last episode here on our AAR-IP Toolkit. We're going to take a look here now about integrating Google Forms if you're so inclined. And again, this Google Forms video could apply to about any of the other tools we've got going on. But for here, this may be particularly useful for a couple of functions. The first being if you've got kind of the tailboard thing and you want to capture up just quick insights, and again, have it feed it while it's fresh, not have to go back to the station or back to the office or whatever it is and do a formal report. Number two, you can also use the participant feedback form and make that a Google form. So we're going to use that as an example here. We use the participant feedback form first. So we're just going to Google Forms, and we're going to just we're going to pick the first one. We're going to go to Google Forms. We're going to do a blank one. And we're just going to call this participant feedback form. Cool. There we go. Right. And so what we can do now is we can do some merging back and forth. So if you click there, that's going to pull that up. You can customize these things to all get out. We can put a picture on it. Let's see, exercise, and we used that earlier. We'll just use that again real quick. We can put in a form description. We appreciate you helping us out. Blah, 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 blah. Turns out we don't like that where it is. We can delete it. So again, a lot of functionality here off of these bars. If you're so inclined. So as we kind of work through here, what we want to do now is we're going to go to our participant feedback form. So we're going to make that a little smaller. Actually, we're just going to come down here. We'll find it. Exercise feedback form. So our first question is going to be that. We're going to copy it. We're going to paste it right there. And then it's going to say what were our things. We're going to click add all, make sure those match strongly through strongly. Yep, in that order. And then we're going to go ahead and duplicate that question. We'll come back over here. Copy it, paste it, right? And essentially repeat that. We're going to duplicate it because it's the same sort of answers. Control Shift Tab, Control Tab will move you across those tabs if you're so inclined. We're going to make that. We're going to duplicate that one real quick. All right, we're moving kind of quick. All right, so we pasted it in. We've got those are kind of matching. If you want, we can do this optional section here: name, phone number, position, email. We'll come back up here. Those are at the top. We'll just do a question. These little kind of hamburger buttons. We'll drag it up. Name, and it'll likely change there for you. What do we say? Position, email, phone. Right, so we captured that up. So far, our survey is matching right across there, across there. We're going to come down and we're going to do some participant feedback. We'll scroll to the bottom. Got a new question. Paste it in. It's going to recognize that. It's going to require some typing. We're going to take the second question. Same thing. Third question, right? I'm using Control C to copy, Control V Victor to paste, and then Control Tab and Control Shift Tab to move right and left across these. So there's 3, and we want question 4. All right, so now we've essentially just created the same participant feedback form. They're identical, right? What we're doing now is we want to kind of clean this up just a little bit. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to click on responses. And we're going to click here. I'm going to select that yes, email me when one comes in, so I know that we want to see this. I'm going to click here, link to sheets. And what I want to do is not create a new one. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to find the name of this, and I'm going to link it to that. So I'm going to select an existing spreadsheet. I'm going to paste that in there. I'm going to find it. Right there it is, right? And so once you select that, it's going to take a second. and it's linked. The thing now to kind of pay attention to is we just need to kind of make sure that we've checked these. Usually they're just fine, but you want to make sure you know what's going on here. We can send if we collect their email addresses, you know, we can do responder input. And we can actually say always send them a little copy of what they put in there. If you want them to only do one, you can do that. You can kind of mess around with those settings a little bit. We can also come in here and now customize a little bit. Let's come back to our questions. We are going to move that over here, make a header image, and this is where we're going to put that other thing. But let's just say basketball could swoop. We want to make it blue or green or orange or whatever color. We can change fonts. We can change all that kind of stuff here. And we'll preview the survey real quick. There it is. That's looking pretty much just what we wanted it to. Okay, so we'll close our little preview. Now, we've got a couple other cool options that we can do. You can send the survey. And what we can do here is, again, from back over here where we had our little phone list, we can do, where is our little phone list? Our contact summary. That would have all rolled up. We can then copy this email address list that was put in there, paste it, type in whatever else, right? Thanks for joining us. Please fill out. I can write a little message. I can include the email in the form. So now when it shows up in my email, I just click on the thing. I can fill it out right in my email, hit submit, off it goes. I can do a couple other things, right? I can copy the URL. I can shorten the URL if we want to send out an email, text it out, whatever else. If I've got a website, I can embed it. Chances are, though, one of these options is going to work pretty good for you. The other cool thing I can do here is we're going to get a hold of that. I'm going to hit copy, and I'm just going to open a new tab, put in QR code generator. And what we can do if we're setting this up ahead of time, you can pick most any of them. They all work pretty similar. I'm going to paste that in, and now I've got a QR code. We're going to select whichever one we kind of like best. You can see it kind of changes there a little bit. Many of these you can log in, and if you log in, you can add a logo or whatever else. We're going to just say that's a good little QR for us, and we're going to download it. I'm going to call it QR for exercise AAR Toolkit. Download, and now I've got my little QR code. I can now put that on flyers. I can put that on the sign-in sheet, on the welcome packet, on an email, whatever it may be useful for. That goes out to all my participants. I can text it out. I can email it out. I can do any of those sort of things. In this case, right, we just, like say, we copy pasted it onto a Google Doc or a Word doc, pasted them around and said, please fill out this form before you leave our exercise. Something along those lines, right? As they fill those things out, if you recall, we went in and we said we wanted to link it to this sheet. And so, let me refresh here real quick. And lo and behold, here should be right at the beginning, yep. We have those exercise questions that we filled out. And so let's say we got a bunch of feedback forms back that it was good, it was bad, it was whatever, right? They selected those different inputs. We can now, if you are so inclined, right, we can just say equals, sum right here. And it's going to say 0. But if we want it to, you can do a quick little thing that says equals count if, and this is getting a little advanced, but if you're playing around in here, it might be useful. So we want to count if those areas are X, or whatever the survey generated. Yes, 1, whatever it is, we would put that in. In this case, we're looking for X, add 3. Now, we can then just quickly type that into our other place where we're looking here in that data entry, right down here where it was asking about participant feedback. You could come in here and kind of quickly summarize what's going on. right? If you're super stoked about building all these things in, you can build these automated insights. It would take a little bit more work, but you get the idea. In this case, we aren't going to use this form long term, so we're going to unlink the form. Yep. And then we're just going to go ahead and delete it because that was just kind of a little practice round. You can see how we can use a form, Google form, to either capture some data, just like we did the participant feedback form. We can do a quick little another Google form and just put in the bright green questions, right? Region, county, you can do drop downs in the Google form if you want. Again, you can just copy and paste those answers from right here in the Google Sheet into the form, so you don't have to retype much. But essentially just kind of rebuild these bright greens, do the same thing we just did with creating a form. We can do the QR code generator if we need to, send that out to our fire captains or our police sergeants or our whatever it may be, and have them essentially just save that link that you send them, right? This link, you can usually on your phone, hold it down and hit send icon to the home screen, something along those lines. And now later, when they're doing a incident that had some insights or an exercise or whatever else, they click the button, it pulls up the form, you fill out those questions, that's the bright greens, and now essentially you've got that data coming into, just like we saw here a minute ago, a form, a survey form. And if you're so inclined, right, quick copy paste, we can input that information right into your tracker here. If you are doing a copy paste, right, if you did everything kind of exactly right, you can do a paste special, right, where in the form we just had, they were going left to right, kind of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. We want them to go, those answers, however, to go, down, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can do the same, paste special and transposed, and that'll take A, B, C into 1, 2, 3 coming down. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to use this tool, you might consider setting something like that up to make your life a little bit more smooth and easy. You saw here in a couple minute video, we put together a quick form, QR form, and link that in. If you wanted to do that, it's not too bad. Again, you can email the creators at weprepare.org and we can walk you through in a shared screen setting up your form for your AAR toolkit if you want. But you can see, not too terribly difficult. And again, some of the math there, not crazy macros, any of that stuff, just A equals A sort of logic to build those insights, right, to count up your participant feedback or whatever the case may be. So all that said, as always, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks for coming out and watching the series on the AAR-IP Toolkit, as well as how to build forms and QR codes and integrate that back into these tools. Thanks for joining us. Be safe, and we'll talk to you on the next one. See ya.